Hey Boyd, how you doing? 50 or so still walking back through the annals of Shudder, and I seem to be in kind of the foreign quarter, as it were, as a lot of these films were probably added simultaneously, hence my recent bout with Lucio Fulci and, oh, what was the other one I was gonna... I've been watching so many movies over the past couple week, the past week that I'm kind of forgetting all the ones that I did do. I guess Society and Pieces really weren't that foreign, though, so 50-50. Anyway, today we actually go to France. This was a French one. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't French Canadian. I should have looked up that before I started recording, but here we are. Nope, France, I was right. Okay, and that is the movie Therapy. Uh, So, Therapy is a sort of found footage slasher film. And I will say I was on board with this one through, for the most part. So it kind of starts with a sort of found footage thing of some street punks going to graffiti an abandoned building, but they're clearly being stalked by someone, and then it all goes to hell as a basic slasher thing starts going on. Then we kind of cut to a group of an uncle, his teenage nephews and nieces, and his girlfriend going out on a camping trip. And as they do, they start hearing some screaming in the distance. They think it's just some people messing around. Then a few other strange things start happening, and eventually, when they go to investigate. However, we're not watching this part really in real time. All this found footage stuff, because there actually is found footage in this movie. We're watching the cops watching this film as as they find it and decode it. So essentially, we are watching the cops that realize, oh, some people might be missing. Where is this? What? And then like they recovered some of the I don't know where they got the initial bet, but so they try to figure out who's involved, what they know, and what happened to these people. As they keep getting more and more of the video, they're like, oh, it's a missing persons. Oh, it might be murder, and it keeps escalating from there. And it's all right. Now, I will say some of the first person perspective aspects of looking around, not sure where the killer is or what's going on or how many there are or who's all involved, because there's some girls in hospital gowns also wandering around that are sometimes trying to help, sometimes being a little creepy and chasing them. So I will say those parts are legitimately creepy. The downside is the killer looks like Dollar Store Michael Myers. Yeah, that's the mask looks very similar to Michael Myers, but it's just like the face part. So it looks kind of cheap, and all you can think of is Michael Myers, and not in a good way. Also, the acting on the cops, particularly the Jane, I guess the lead cop, she goes from 0 to 100 on the emotional factors way too much, and to the point where it's like, come on. But I will say there was enough tension going on. And then once you get to the climax and you realize what's going on, I saw a lot of people talk about the twist, and once that comes out, whether or not it's then people are going to be on board with it or not. Me, I didn't really find it as much of a twist as just sort of a reveal, and not all that engaging of a one. It was fine, but I will say there were some missed opportunities there, because part of what's going on is why it's called Therapy is a lot of this is happening at an abandoned mental home. The killer seems to be abducting people and keeping them there in some form of weird mental care. So, which is leaving them kind of traumatized. Now, if they had focused on that a little bit more, and we'd seen a bit more of that, rather than just some fleeting images, it would have been interesting just to see a bit more of that, because that's some disturbing shit. That right there could have been decent. So it has some ideas. It just is more interested in being a found footage slasher film rather than something that could have been truly disturbing. So 50-50 there. Overall, I will say the positives for me did outweigh the negatives. I do enjoy a found footage film. Those ones usually hit me in the sweet spot for creepiness. And this one, the characters were, for the most part, likable enough, particularly the teenagers. Teenagers were not annoying. They were believable, and you wanted them to survive this. The uncle, 50-50, like, he starts off fine, but when things start going to hell, he doesn't handle it well. And so he's stopped being so sympathetic to him. But overall, I'll give this one 5 MacGuffins. It's worth seeing once, but I'm probably not going to revisit this one very often. It was interesting. So yeah, French found footage slasher therapy. It's worth a watch, but just give it a shot. It might be your thing. This one seemed to be really kind of mixed reviews, but I thought it was fine. Not great, but fine. Well, have a good night.